Notre Dame fire pledges inflame Yellow Vest protesters. Demonstrators criticize donations by billionaires to restore burned cathedral as they march against economic inequality.
Here's a summary of the article.
Paris, France, holding signs that read, "What about the poor?" and chanting, "Justice for all." France's Yellow Vest protesters, ignoring the displays of unity by the French political class in the wake of the Notre Dame fire, marched through the streets of Paris and other cities on Saturday, vowing to persevere in what they called Ultimatum 2. The grassroots movement that started on social media has proven to be one of the biggest tests to Macron's presidency, with protesters refusing to let this week's fire at Notre Dame pause their demonstrations, even as the president and French political parties put aside politics and halted campaigning for the upcoming European Parliament elections. In some ways, the fire on Monday inflamed some protesters because of the hundreds of millions of euros raised immediately afterwards to restore the 850-year-old Notre Dame. To say, there's too much money for Notre Dame and there is need elsewhere, of course, there is need elsewhere for healthcare, the fight against climate change. But Notre Dame is not only a collection of old stones. It's a part of our identity. The rioters have not been visibly moved by what happened at Notre Dame, he said angrily, shortly before the ministry announced that France would deploy 60,000 police officers on Saturday, and prevent any protesters from getting near Notre Dame and the Champs-Élysées, where, in March, they set fire to a bank, smashed the front of a renowned restaurant and looted stores. It's difficult to say the protests are no longer legitimate because of the Notre Dame fire. Monday's fire broke out just an hour before Macron was scheduled to give a televised address detailing a series of policy reforms in response to the Yellow Vest protesters and their grievances.
This post received a score of 43,602, with an upvote ratio of 87%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
Sire, the peasants are stirring. Let them eat cake.
The cheap ones, mind you. Tesco brand. And limited to the first 100 peasants only. We're not made of money, you know.
Let them eat cake.
Cake or death, that's a pretty easy question. Anyone could answer that. Cake or death? Cake please, very well. Give him cake, oh, thanks very much. It's very nice, you. Cake or death? Cake for me, too, please, very well. Give him cake, too. We're gonna run out of cake at this rate. You. Cake or death? Death, please. No, cake. Cake. Cake, sorry. Sorry, you said death first. Death first. Well, I meant cake, and #X200B. Edit, thanks for the gold, didn't know an Izzard quote would get so much love. Go watch some Eddie Izzard.
Well, we're out of cake. So my choices are, or death.
We didn't expect such a rush.
For the uninitiated.
Is he still doing stand-up? He's not retired but he hasn't released anything since 2015-ish I think. I haven't seen any tour dates either but I haven't looked in a while. I think he was taking a break to pursue his acting career?
He just finished an Aussie tour, and is in the US in May and June.
Thanks, I just found him doing a show close to me so I'll get some tickets.
They need a Pepsi over there.
Someone call Kendall Jenner.
I wish she would show up there with a fucking Pepsi.
She coming in with a Pepsi and calming down the protests would definitely redeem a campaign that was set to be remembered as one of the dumbest in history though.
Think about this. These brands will live on in history as saving Notre Dame with their large donations. They are luxury brands saving a historical monument. It's more a press show rather than them caring about a monument.
Someone has yet to explain to me why they need any donations at all, and why the building company isn't liable for their dodgy wiring, and why their insurance isn't paying out for the repair. This is what liability insurance is for.
Greater than this is what liability insurance is for. Likely. But those rarely cover sums going in the billions.
Really? Even on such a big structure? I mean, I guess that's the case, but I was also confused about this. Edit, okay guys, I got it. Shit's expensive. They are capped at times, or premiums would be very large. Very few insurers deal with those odd insurance contracts that require specialist, one-time research to estimate potential liabilities in the first place. Lloyd's of London is a famous insurer that will insure anything essentially, for a price. Most insurance companies wouldn't handle an uncapped insurance contract on something like Notre Dame, too many uncertainties. They'd insist on specific sums to be paid out to be put into the contract, so, caps, or they'd have trouble evaluating it in the first place.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.